What is going on, guys, and welcome to the Red Panda Roundup. So, let's hop into it. This is going to be quick fire with some of the stories I found today. And we're starting with Florida School District, with thousands in isolation or quarantine, calls for an emergency board meeting. About a week after the classes started, one Tampa area school system has called an emergency meeting to discuss COVID-19 mitigation measures after about 6,000 people were told to isolate or quarantine. Again, run DeSantis. The problems he's caused. Officials with Hillsborough County Public Schools said Monday morning that 5,599 students and 316 employees are in isolation or quarantine. The school board said in a statement Monday it has called for an emergency meeting Wednesday afternoon to discuss the impact of COVID-19 and mitigation strategies, including mandatory face coverings for all staff and students, which is what should have happened. And it's what the federal government wanted. But, Governor DeSantis, he thinks he knows better. And, he got the school districts to play by threatening to defund them. Because that's the kind of person he is. Oh, if you don't do what I'll say, I'll make sure your kids never have an education and that all of you never have a job. What a douche. So the Classing District, which is the 7th largest in the county, and has 208,000 students, began last Tuesday. August 7th, district officials announced that they would require face coverings for the start of the year. However, parents were able to opt their children out. As of last Thursday, Hillsborough County Public Schools have received 27,915 opt-out submissions, according to the school district spokesman, Tanya Arya. The mask requirement is effective through September 3rd, officials said, blah, blah, blah. And Governor Ron DeSantis' officers said that the state could move to withdraw salaries of officials who impose mask mandates in schools. The governor said parents should decide whether their children wear masks. So yeah, this is the situation, and hey, guess what? Your kids are paying for it. Your kids are paying for it with their education by not being in school. And the most vulnerable are paying for it with their lives. And it's just absurd. It's absolutely absurd and ridiculous. And the people of Florida should really, stop focusing on the masks and start focusing on more of a leader who doesn't care about their children's lives, education, or the jobs of civic employees. He would go so far as to blackmail them by stating that he would, withhold their salaries, withhold school funding, in order to make them do what he wants. Yeah. So let's move on to the next part. And this is again about COVID-19, but this is about New Zealand. Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern announced level 4 lockdown for Auckland, Coromandel, and New Zealand. So basically they had one case of coronavirus that has been tested positive for. In response to this, Jacinda Ardern has decided to lock down the entire country. And that's because it is genuinely believed, even though it has not been confirmed yet, that this case is a Delta variant. And she has made the actual genius decision, which I actually thoroughly applaud, of saying, okay, we're going to have 7 days lockdown in the areas that are closest to where this happened, and 3 days lockdown in other areas. It was a 58-year-old man who tested positive when he went to visit a GP. The man isn't vaccinated, but his wife is fully vaccinated. There's no obvious link with anything to do with border at this time. While the results of the testing are back, they will be known tomorrow. There are 15 locations of interest, 12 in Coromandel, 2 in Auckland, and 1 in Thames. Testing centres will be open across Auckland on Wednesday, including the pop centre in Narrow Neck. And the Cook Islands have temporarily shut its travel bubble with New Zealand. Shutting down 72 hours for inbound travel. And yeah, there's areas of interest and stuff, but It basically comes down to she has seen how it worked around the world and has decided that she wants to do better for her people. Which is, it makes sense, right? It makes absolute sense. You know, Ardern said the positive test could not be confirmed as Delta variant until genome sequencing was confirmed tomorrow. For every recent MIQ case has been Delta. He says that we have shaped these evening's decisions. And, you know, with this probably being the Delta variant, we've seen the dire consequences of taking too long to act in other countries, not least our neighbours. The bubble is back, meaning the lockdown. Ardern said the Delta variant is potentially twice as infectious and more liable to cause severe illness. We are one of the last countries in the world to have dealt with the Delta variant in our community, and this has given us the chance to learn from others where, around the world, other nations, their response and what happened. And she said the Delta variant was a game changer, and there need to be a rapid response to stop the spread, and that we only get one chance. One of the worst things about the Covid-19 is the absolute uncertainty it can create. But we know this strategy works, and we know life will get easier, we just need to keep going. And I just want to applaud her. I want to applaud her for taking a proactive approach to this, and saying, right, do the hard thing now. Do the hard thing right now. Yes, people won't like it. Yes, it sucks. Yes, it affects our lives again. But if we do it now, then in the long term, it's going to make things easier. And it is what everyone should have done. And I actually wish in the UK we had a leader like that who said, you know what, it's going to really suck. But if we do this now, then it will not take us months. It will not take us ages, weeks, months to get this sorted, to get back to just the position we were in. And just deal with it now and make sure that this is as short as it has to be, as uncomfortable and as irritating as it has to be. And then afterwards we can really, continue with our focus of doing better, getting the country back together, and just doing the right thing. It's just, it's just a different approach. I think that is the thing. I think that's the problem that we've seen is just the lazy response to things. There's a lot of situations that could have been shorter, less impactful upon people if the right decision was just made at the right time. And I think she has seen this and understands it, and as a Prime Minister understands the responsibility she has, and has really thought about her people and thought, I want this to be as short as possible, not as long as possible. So we're going to learn from everywhere else, we're going to do what needs to be done now, and then we're going to get people back to their lives, and back to enjoying themselves, and back to living again, and yeah. Great honour. Just great overall. But let's move on, and this is to Foo Fighters. It's from Newsweek. Foo Fighters vaccine requirements that shows prompt outrage and shame on them. Apparently, according to Newsweek. Well, not according to Newsweek, it's a quote from someone else, but, basically, in America, around the world, pretty much, they are requiring you to show that you're vaccinated or that you've had a negative test, and not everywhere but some places require masks. Now, the Foo Fighters event does not require masks. Let's get that off the bat right away. They have just said that they encourage people to wear masks. Well, basically, by purchasing tickets for the event, you have to confirm that at the time of the event, you will have received a negative COVID-19 test within 48 hours of the event, or have been fully vaccinated against COVID-19, 14 days past the final vaccination shot, and will provide proof of the vaccine prior to entering the venue. It's pretty fair. Ticket holders have also been informed that mask wearing is encouraged, but not required. You're not forced to wear masks. All they simply say is, please have had a negative test 48 hours before coming to the show, or please be vaccinated before coming to the show, and just keep everyone safe. And it's not unreasonable. It's not an unreasonable thing to say. Just try and keep it as safe as possible. If you haven't tested negative, and you could be a carrier and you could be dangerous to other people, just do the right thing. And it's not hard. Like, I don't understand why it's hard. People go, oh, well, it's taking my freedom away. It's taking my freedom away. But it isn't taking your freedom away. It's just simply asking you to be a responsible human being. Right? Be a responsible person. It's the same as don't drink and drive. If you've had a drink and you're drunk, or you're high, don't get behind a vehicle. If you're sick, or could potentially be sick, don't spread the sickness, because you could hurt people. Like, I don't understand. It's common sense, right? At least it is to me. Just have the common sense of thinking, well, I should be safe just in case, so, I keep myself safe, so I'm safe while I'm there, so other people are safe, so we can have these events, so we can enjoy ourselves, so this stops going on and on and on, and we can have a normal life. But there's some people who are actually determined that we won't have a normal life, like former UKIP member and candidate to become Mayor of London, David Curtin. I'm just gonna say this right now, I don't like UKIP. I don't like xenophobic organisations, which UKIP are. They were a front for Britain First and the EDL. And anyone from the UK understands what I'm talking about for the rest of the world. Just horrible people that you don't want to be associated with. And he says, when I was a boy, almost all musicians and rock stars were against apartheid. Which is ironic coming from UKIP, considering they literally wanted to shut the UK's borders from the rest of Europe and the world. Yeah, I'm against apartheid. But, by the way, I would like the UK not to have any association with foreigners. Now, with some notable exceptions, the majority of them are imposing it, he tweeted. Shame on them. No medical apartheid. Also, just me clarifying this, him claiming that in any way this is like apartheid is absolutely disgusting. It is shameful beyond belief, because people absolutely horribly suffered based upon their ethnicity, their race, things that they could not control. They were treated differently and subjugated, and even there was hate groups that went around and targeted these peoples and communities. And it was horrible. So for him to suggest in any way, someone saying, please be safe, please don't put others at risk in case you are sick or could potentially be sick, and just have that courtesy to ensure other people's safety, as comparing it to a regime that literally persecuted others, discriminated against others, allowed hate crimes to be perpetuated against others. But yeah, UKIP member, what do you expect? Logic and reason isn't part of their agenda. Another person responded to Biden's announcement and said, wow, I guess I'm done with concerts. I got the vaccine, but I don't want to show my card to see a concert. Good luck with the tour. I love you guys. Why? That's basically you saying, well, I can't be bothered. It's no difference than going, can I see proof of driving? Can I see your driver's license, please? Can you prove that you're safe to drive on the road? Can you prove that you're safe to be in this concert? I hope people boycott any and all events that require this nonsense, said another. Yes, saving lives is nonsense. Of course it is. Protecting others than yourself is nonsense. Of course it is. However, many others welcomed the announcement, the gems that are in the world, which I know many of you are, with one tweet reading, the Foo Fighters are requiring vaccines. I've told you how much I idolized the Foo lately. While another added, keeping your fans and crewing yourself safe, good for you. And this isn't just the Foo Fighters, this is all across America, the UK, various events around the world require this. Show a negative test, or show that you're vaccinated. That's it. You don't even have to get vaccinated. It's not like they're saying, you must be vaccinated to attend this event. you must wear a mask to attend this event. They're just simply saying, just show that you've had a negative test and that you're not infectious, that you're not ill. And that's it. It's just like saying, please don't be drunk behind a car. When you travel somewhere, don't drive drunk. When you come to this event, please don't be sick. But yeah, but Jason Isbell defended requiring people to be vaccinated against COVID-19 to attend his concerts, saying if you're dead, you don't have any freedoms at all. It's probably important to stay alive before you start questioning your liberty, the Grammy winner told MSNBC. It's life, and then it's liberty, and then it's the pursuit of happiness. Those are in order of priority. And, yeah, it's fair. And other events, the Lollapalooza, Live Nation, there's all sorts of events going on that all requires something to, similar implementations. It's just absurd to be like, oh, well, I don't want to do it. Well, great, if you don't want to do it, then your life won't go back to normal, will it? You're basically choosing to make this something that affects you instead of just going, oh yeah, I'll just do a test, it won't take long. 75 minutes, get a test done, boom, done. There we go. Now I can go to a concert and have a really nice time. But instead, they want to basically shoot themselves in the foot and then go, oh look, I'm in pain. I did this to myself, but we should blame someone else because I'm angry. It's just, you know what it is? It's childish. Like I says at the start, is it really so hard to be responsible and just behave like an adult and just take responsibility for you and other people? But at the same time, that's asking a lot from some people to actually think about their actions before they do something. And the final topic, which is from Just Jard, Daniel Craig reveals he won't be leaving his kids any inheritance. An inheritance. Daniel Craig says he's not be leaving any money to his children in the form of an inheritance. The 53-year-old James Bond star, who was asked about leaving his two daughters money, said, isn't the old adage that if you die a rich person, you failed? He continued to quote Candace magazine. I think Andrew Carnegie gave away what in today's money will be about $11 billion, which shows how rich he was, and I bet he kept some of it too. He added, but I don't want to leave great sums to the next generation. I think inheritance is quite distasteful. My philosophy is always get rid of it or give it away before you go. And yeah, he just basically revealed that he won't be leaving any money to the children. And I think this is kind of short-sighted in the sense that it's very easy to have this perspective of, well, I made money, therefore, why does it matter? I can do with what I want with it, and who cares, right? But also he should understand how difficult it is to make money, right? And as the majority of you watching this will know, from your own experiences, it's not just as simple as acquiring wealth. You don't just get handed to you. As much as you like to believe, or people like to believe that it's hard work, or that people like Daniel Craig will claim that it's hard work that gets you it isn't. And he knows it isn't. It's luck. A lot of it is luck. It is meeting the right people at the right time, being in the right situation, where just so far the things fall into place that allow you to be successful. Right? That's that is pretty much how it works. There has to be talent, there has to be effort, there has to be hustle, but also there has to be the opportunity in the moment where you break through and you have your chance. And I think for him to state that, oh, well, I'm not leaving my wealth to my children, any wealth to my children, I'm just going to give it all away and they can figure out their own way and do, and if they don't, well, pff. I don't think that's the way to teach them. there's other ways of teaching them. There's a lot of other ways he could have done this. Like, he could have had a trust fund, right? That required them to do something. There's a lot of celebrities that actually do have these inheritances, these trust funds set up in a way that is like, you must do something with your life. You must achieve a degree, etc. Be working in a successful job, doing non-profit work, become a doctor, become a lawyer, be a human rights activist, be an engineer or a scientist, do something. The thing isn't always specific. It isn't like you must be a doctor and all you can be is a doctor, and if you're not a doctor, you won't get any money. But basically, it's like you must achieve something and you must show that you're capable, right? You must meet some objectives, and if you can do that, then you have access to this inheritances trust fund. And then if you continue to be doing good and you progress the way you're progressing, then you'll have access to more of it. And then eventually, by a certain age, if you've met all the requirements, you have access to the entire thing, and you can use that to do even more good. And that's what some celebrities do with their children to, not just hand them wealth, but make them actually appreciate how hard it is to accumulate wealth, and also develop the skills in order to be successful, and then give them a means in which to use their family's wealth in order to benefit the world and do even more greater things. You could set it up in a way where it's a foundation, and the girls have to work for the foundation, do something with the foundation, be an ambassador or something. There's a lot more ways that he could do this that isn't simply, I'm going to spend it all and then you can figure out your own lives. I think, he could really instill some values in them beyond just saying, I'm not giving you any money, you're going to have to figure out how to do all this on your own, kind of thing. And I don't know whether this is like the full thing, because obviously this is very short. Maybe there's more said, but yeah, it seems very cold in some ways. It seems very cold in some ways. I feel like he could have done a better job with it. But anyways, that's the Red Panda Roundup. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment down below. Subscribe if you have enjoyed this. And I'll see you guys in the next one. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's a different format, different setup. Hopefully you enjoyed the background more. Hopefully it's a bit more pleasant to watch. I know like the other video is a bit like, ooh, mesmerizing. I thought this would be a little bit better. And yeah. So, see you guys later. Thank you for watching, and peace.